Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shay. If you're new here, hello, welcome. Today's video is a very interesting one. If you guys saw in one of my last videos, in the trailer cleaning video, I talked about the fact that I had these bubbles that I was using for a new video, and that is today's video. We're going to be talking about desensitization and different tools that we can use. I do have another video that's going to be coming out that talks about what is desensitizing. It talks a little bit about the neuroscience behind desensitizing. A lot of this stuff I literally just got from Dollar Tree. It is the easiest way to find things that might be scary. So we're gonna get me some coffee, wake up the kid, feed him, and then we're gonna go down to the girls and I'm gonna demonstrate everything with Penny. I haven't worked with her in a while, so we're gonna see if she's like totally chill about everything or if she's gonna give us a show. All right, we are gonna make this fairly quick because I have little Nugget hanging out in the stroller. He's supposed to be eating his bottle. Hey, eat your food. It's very warm already today, so we're gonna go over some of this stuff fairly quick. A lot of this stuff, like I said already, a lot I got from Dollar Tree. The other stuff I had laying around the house. There's a couple of things that I did buy just because I needed them for props for freestyle or whatever. So the first thing we're gonna start with that might seem really simple is just a towel. I actually started Penny with towels the same way that Mustang Maddie did, and I think it was one of the better ways to go about it. Started with just some sniffs, and when she would sniff it, we'd back off. Good girl. Good girl. And then we could sniff it some more. Good. Very good girl. Good girl. And every time she sniffs, she gets that little bit of praise, just to know that her investigating is definitely what I want. Can you smell? Good. Good. You guys probably couldn't see it, but she did lip it a little bit, which was great. So we're starting off really small. And then I might go over, kind of rub her down. She's pretty chill with this, so I'm not too concerned. If she wasn't, I'd be going a lot slower. But I take it when it's small, just kind of rub it all over. I'll get her legs, underneath her chest, over her butt. Go to that other side and just remember when you switch sides, you want to make sure that they see it, that they smell it, that they know it's coming. I guess we'll go from right here. So go over the butt. I let her investigate it on that side. So we're going to kind of do a little rub down. Good girl. Good. You can see she doesn't totally care. So when I know that she's comfortable with it being smaller, you'd start to kind of open it up a little bit more. So now I've got it just in quarter. Hi. I might kind of throw it over, toss it, no big deal. So you can see she really doesn't care. I could throw it everywhere. And the whole time I'm watching her body, I'm watching her ears, her eyes, see what she kind of reacts to. She doesn't care. Usually would just open half first, but with her, since we've done it a lot, I might kind of shake it, get some noise and motion, throw it over. Good girl. Good. Very good girl. Just kind of getting her used to throwing. This is great for getting them used to saddle pads without the weight, getting them used to some tart movement over them. Good girl. Usually I go through the whole body first. Good girl. So then after I know that she's comfortable all over, I'll start to kind of pull it up a little, pull it up near her face, kind of go up, over. Good girl. Back over her ears, back up. Good girl. And all of this is determined by how she's reacting. She's being super calm because we've done a lot of this before. But by kind of bringing it over her face, let her kind of sit for a second, we can open it back up. Good girl. Another great thing to do is to treat things like a game. So by her kind of choosing to follow it around, she's investigating it on her own terms. You can see right now I've got this whole tarp kind of wound up. Good job. Oh, good girl. any sort of investigation I'm okay with. She's not being mean towards me. She's just trying to kind of check it out. So right now she's lipping at it, chewing. So if I think she's comfortable, I might come up and kind of touch her with it. Good. This was something that we used for our freestyle, so she's pretty used to it. Good girl. Come over. Rub it down her body. Good girl. Good girl. Oh, good job. You know that's a fence. Don't walk into the fence, you goof. Good. Good. Very good girl. That's your poop. Good girl. Very good. Good job. I try to do a lot of this desensitizing without a halter on so that she still feels like she can walk away if she needs to. If she needs that reset, she can get away from it. So you guys can see here, I've got a PVC pipe and some twine to tie the tarp to it. So I have this pipe on here to be able to kind of create a little bit different of movement, and it brings the tarp a lot bigger. So when I bring it up to her, good. Good girl. Good. Very nice. Good girl, Penny. And I might come over her butt. Good. Good girl. I'm going to stand here for a second and see what she does. Good girl. Bless you. Good. What a good girl. Good. I'm really impressed because we really haven't worked on this stuff much lately. So I might, for the last one, over the head. Good, Penny. Good girl. What a good girl. Always remember too to make sure that you're giving your horses a break. So as much as I wasn't doing this stuff for very long, first of all, Maddox is getting grumpy and I need to get him. I'm gonna let her have kind of a mental reset here. I'll come back out later and show you guys some more. Okay, everyone, it is actually day 2 of filming this. If you couldn't tell by the outfit change. Maddox did not want to cooperate yesterday. So we ended up not filming the rest of the video, but he is down for a nap now. I've got my handy dandy little walkie-talkie if he wakes up. But he's down for a nap right now. So let's go ahead and work on some more desensitizing with Penny. I'll show you guys a little bit more of how I kind of go through some other stuff. So another thing that sometimes will freak horses out is sometimes things like hats. So unless you're wearing like a cowboy hat every day, this might become something that's a little bit intimidating, a little bit scary, a little bit spooky. You can smell it. So this is the hat that I use for my freestyle, but I'm just gonna kind of make some movement with it, make some noise. Specifically things above the head is always a little bit scarier. When she kind of acknowledges it, relaxes her head back down. Good girl. I might put it on, see what she does. Good girl, what do you think? What do you think? Because if you think about the fact that this is how I normally look, this is how my head normally looks, how my hair normally looks, throwing a hat on does change the way you look to the horse. Moving on up to something else that I got from the Dollar Tree. It's okay, you wanna smell it? Good girl. Just some pool noodles. You can get them in different colors, but these are something that you can use as kind of like a trot over, like pulls on the ground. You could touch them with it. You can make a fun little like wiggly obstacle. I feel like sometimes she likes to smell things because she knows that that is what I want her to do. I want her to investigate it. I want her to be curious. So I'll go through and kind of touch her with it, back off. And at first I'm only doing it with one. And if this was the first time ever handling these, I would only use one and not have the other ones in my hand, just because it creates more of a distraction too. I may not be touching her with it, but if it is a scary object, I don't want to make it worse by having more of them and make it something that's a bigger reaction. So I could touch her everywhere with these. I can touch her back legs, her front legs, her belly, and get over her back. Good girl. I might start to touch with all of them. Do some good scratches. Good girl. Some other things you can do, we were kind of throwing that towel over her, so we could try even throwing these over. Good. Or I might, from far away, start with this. It does make a little bit of noise. Go up above the head. come around the butt. Any sort of movement that you can come up with is really good to just try. Just see how it works. Sometimes it creates a big reaction and that's okay to work through. Sometimes it's just a little reaction. The other thing I'm really looking for with her, as much as she's in a really calm, relaxed state right now, I don't want to see her get into a shutdown freeze mode. And usually that's if the horse is just standing there, head down, eyes are kind of closing, like they're really tired, ears aren't moving, they're not really interacting with you. She's pretty relaxed right now. She's still wanting to smell things, so I don't see her as shut down. I see her as, yeah, we've done this before, can we not? I just had a spare umbrella laying around. With these, I like to start off really small, so I'll have it closed and have her just kind of smell it. What do you think? Good girl. Always making sure to do both sides with anything. Go down the neck, shoulder, leg. Good girl. And since we can do all of this, I might then just open it. Just enough that it doesn't fully open, but it makes that noise. With Penny, what I really like about her is that she investigates everything. She smells everything. She wants to know what it is. And Sage doesn't necessarily do that. And that's partially because I did a ton of desensitizing with Sage. I was also a lot younger and a lot more inexperienced. And I feel like the way I'm going about things with Penny allows her to still maintain that curiosity and not just lose that. Now, this is definitely something I got for freestyle. This is our flag. We have a pirate flag. We literally have the same flag as one of the other competitors. With these, I kind of treat it the same way as I do with blankets or umbrellas. I'm gonna make it really small at first and kind of let her sniff it, figure it out. Right now, I'm just kind of making a little bit of movement away from her, kind of see what she would do. If this were a brand new Mustang, I probably wouldn't be doing this part yet unless I was farther away. With her, again, she's used to it. Good girl. She doesn't care too much. You can go faster, make it a little bit snappier of a sound. Good. Ooh. Ooh. Good girl. Oh, thank you. Goodness. Good girl. I might come up on this side, under and over. Maybe over her head. Just to create that sound and a lot of movement. Again, she doesn't care too much. So I might go over her back once she's relaxed. Come over and touch. Good girl. Just come over the back. And it doesn't have to be a big touch. It can just be that it kind of touches and moves away. Good girl. The other thing I like to do is just like with the tarp, put it over the face. Only as long as they're comfortable enough with it. She kind of lifts her head up a little bit, but it's more of just, she wants to be able to see. Another thing I have here, which you can tell is really loud and noisy and obnoxious. So Garrett and I drink a lot of Pepsi. We also drink a lot of Red Bulls. So all my leftover cans I tied to a ring here and made a very loud, shiny, scary object. So when it comes to scary things, think of things that have a lot of visual changes, have a lot of movement, and have a lot of noise. Good girl. I know that's twine. Okay, can we not eat the twine though? Are you making noise? Good girl. Quiet. We're gonna go up. Good girl. So a few other things that I might get her to kind of be okay with. I got these from the Dollar Tree. Again, there's something shiny with movement, and this is something that I like just because it's not something that I control either. So as much as I like her to have control, these are nice. When that wind blows, it creates the movement itself. It's not something that I have to be right next to for that to happen. The other thing that I never really thought of, but I'm really glad I did, is fake flowers. And the reason behind that is not necessarily to desensitize her to these. It's more of, I don't want her to mess with them if we're in a class. So if there's an obstacle that has flowers in it, I don't want her to reach down and think that it's food and then completely throw off the competition aspect. As much as cones aren't necessarily something that's scary, always desensitize to them just in case We practiced a lot with orange cones. One thing I didn't think was going to be a problem for her, but it actually was black cones. She was fine with the orange ones, but the black ones she didn't want to side pass over, which was obnoxious. But you could take something like this and stick fake flowers in it, and then ask her to do side passing, ask her to back next to it, ask her to weave around the cones. Having these kind of taller objects, and these are still a little bit shiny too, gives a little bit more dimension, a little bit something different for them to get used to. Another thing that I hung on to was salt bags, and we have to get salt for our house, so I ended up hanging on to these salt bags. And to me, these kind of are like a flag, kind of like a banner that you would find on the side of a rail for a show. So I hung these up around the rails of her pen just to give her the kind of flowy movement. There's some big print on it. It's something that can make some noise. I also have a beach ball that is deflated right now. I'm not gonna blow it up, but this is great to even toss over their backs or their heads when they're a little bit more used to things going over them. This is something too that was nice because if I would kick it, she would kind of follow it. And I like to make things almost a game in that aspect, that I want her to be curious and moving towards something instead of it just being me putting something in her face. This is my bubble wand. So I'm kind of just throwing some bubbles out there. I don't think she's really gonna care. But I like this one because of the noise that it makes. What do you think? You're so cute. You're a cute girl. Look at all those bubbles. But this makes a lot of noise, and I didn't think bubbles were going to be a scary thing, but it was for Sage. We went to a trail show where they ended up having a bubble machine on this big tree, and the bubbles ended up scaring the crap out of her. So, not something I thought would be scary, but it is. All right, that is pretty much it for today's video. I hope you guys learned something from it. I really like desensitizing. I think it's super, super important, and I think everyone should do it. Same with ground manners. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.